I am Chad Daran Kaleha and I am going to report Chapter 3, Amplitude Modulation Fundamentals. The topics covered in Chapter 3 are AM concepts, modulation index and percentage of modulation, sidebands and the frequency domain, AM power, single sideband modulation, and classification of radio emissions. Amplitude modulation has been in use since the very earliest days of radio technology. AM or amplitude modulation is a modulation technique most commonly for transmitting information via a radio carrier wave. The amplitude of the carrier wave is varied in proportion to the waveform being transmitted. This figure shows a single frequency sine wave intelligence signal modulating a higher frequency range. Here, an imaginary line connecting the positive and negative peaks of the carrier waveform gives the exact shape of the information signal. In AM, in AM, in AM, the peak value of the modulating signal should be less than the peak value of the carrier. If not, distortion may happen. This figure shows the information signal Vm and carrier signal Vc being transmitted through the modulator. Modulation index is a measure based on the ratio of the modulating signal and carrier signal amplitudes, also known as the modulating factor. The modulation index should be a number between 0 and 1. For this to comply, Vm should be less than Vc. If the modulation index happened to be greater than 1, distortion would occur. Distortion of voice transmission produces garbled, harsh, and unnatural sounds in the speaker. In video, it produces scrambled and inaccurate picture. Here, a sine wave information signal is modulating a sine wave carrier, but the modulating signal is much greater than the carrier voltage, resulting in a condition called overmodulation. The formula for Vm is Vmax minus Vmin, and the percentage of modulation is 100 times the modulation index. When the AM signal is displayed on an oscilloscope, the modulation index can be computed from Vmax and Vmin. Sideband is a band of frequencies higher or lower than the carrier frequency, containing power as a result of the modulation process. Two sidebands are generated by single frequency sine wave modulation, upper sideband and lower sideband. Formula for upper sideband is Fc plus Fm and for lower sideband is Fc minus Fm. In this figure, an AM signal is a composite signal formed from several components. The carrier wave is added to the upper and lower sidebands, resulting in an AM signal. When observing an AM signal you would see only amplitudes variation of the carrier with respect to time. Bandwidth is the difference between the upper and lower sideband frequencies. This figure shows the relationship between the time and frequency domain displays of an AM signal. The time and frequency domains are perpendicular to each other. The amplitudes shown in the frequency domain are the peak values. Here is a simple example where a standard AM broadcast station is allowed to transmit modulating frequencies up to 5 kHz. If the AM station is transmitting on a frequency of 980 kHz, what are the sideband frequencies and total bandwidth? For the upper sideband frequency, you get the sum of the 980 kHz and 5 kHz to get 985 kHz. And for the lower sideband, you get the difference of 980 and 5 to get the 975 kHz. And for the bandwidth, You just get the difference of the upper and lower sideband. 985 minus 975 to get 10 kilohertz.
I am Ryan Bongkin and I am going to continue the discussion. Pulse modulation. When complex signals such as pulses or rectangular waves modulate a carrier, a broad spectrum of sidebands are produced. According to Fourier theory, complex signals such as square waves, triangular waves, sawtooth waves, and distorted sine waves are simply made up of a fundamental sine wave and numerous harmonic signals at different amplitudes. Assume that a carrier is amplitude modulated by a square wave that is made up of a fundamental sine wave and all odd harmonics. Sidebands and the frequency domain. Another crude type of amplitude modulation can be achieved by simply turning the carrier off and on. An example is the transmitting of Morse code by using dots and dashes. A dot is a short burst of carrier and a dash is a longer burst of carrier. The time duration of a dash is 3 times the length of a dot, and the spacing between dots and dashes is 1 dot time. Code transmissions such as these are usually called continuous wave transmission. This kind of transmission is also referred to as on-off keying, despite the fact that only the carrier is being transmitted. Sidebands are generated by such on-off signals. The sidebands results from the frequency or repetition rate of the pulses themselves plus their harmonics. Splatter is a term used to describe harmonic sidebands. Overmodulation and splatter are easily eliminated simply by reducing the level of the modulating signal by using gain control, or in some cases by using amplitude limiting or compression circuits. The AM power. In a radio transmission, the AM signal is amplified by a power amplifier and fed to the antenna with a characteristics impedance that is ideally but not necessarily almost pure resistance. The AM signal is really a composite of several signal voltage, namely the carrier and the two sidebands, and each of these signals produces power in the antenna. The total transmitted power, PT, is simply the sum of the carrier power, P sub C, and the power in the two sidebands, power of upper sidebands and lower sidebands. When the percentage of modulation is less than the optimum 100, there is much less power in the sidebands. Output power can be calculated by using the formula P sub T equals I sub V squared times R, where IT is measured RF current and R is antenna impedance. The greater the percentage of modulation, the higher the sideband power and the higher the total power transmitted. Power in each sideband is calculated P equals P lower sideband equals power of upper sidebands equals P sub C M squared over 4. Maximum power appears in the sidebands when the carriers is 100% modulated. Single sideband modulation. In amplitude modulation, two-thirds of the transmitted power is in the carrier, which itself conveys no information. The real information is contained within the sidebands. One way to improve the efficiency of amplitude modulation is to suppress the carrier and eliminate one sideband. The result is a single sideband SSB signal. SSB is a form of AM that offers unique benefit in some types of electronic communication. DSB signals. The first step in generating an SSB signal is to suppress the carrier, leaving the upper and lower sidebands. This type of signal is referred to as double sideband suppressed carrier, DSSC or DSB signals. The benefit, of course, is that no power is wasted on the carrier. Double sideband suppressed carrier modulation is simply a special case of AM with no carrier. In this figure, a frequency domain display of DSB signal is given in this figure as shown. The spectrum space occupied by a DSB signal is the same as that for a conventional AM signal. Double sideband suppressed carrier signals are generated by a circuit called balance modulator. The purpose of the balance modulator is to produce the sum and difference frequencies, but to cancel or balance out the carrier. SSB signals. In DSB transmission, since the sidebands are the sum and difference of the carrier and modulating signals, the information is contained in both sidebands. As it turns out, there is no reason to transmit both sidebands in order to convey the information. One-sided can be suppressed. The remaining sideband is called a single sideband. A single sideband suppressed carrier (SSSC) signal is generated by suppressing the carrier and one sideband. SSB signals offer four major benefits. The first one is the primary benefit of an SSB signal is that the spectrum space occupies is only one half that of AM and DSB signals. This greatly conserves spectrum space and allows more signals to be transmitted in the same frequency range. The second one is all the power previously devoted to the carrier and the other sideband can be channeled into the single sideband, producing a stronger signal that should carry further and be more reliably received at greater distance. Alternately, SSB transmitters can be made smaller and lighter than an equivalent AM or DSB transmitter because less circuitry and power are used. The third one is because SSB signals occupy a narrower bandwidth, the amount of noise in the signal is reduced. And the last one is there is less selective fading of an SSB signal over long distances. An AM signal is really multiple signals, at least a carrier and two sidebands. Disadvantage of DSB and SSB. The main disadvantage of DSB and SSB signals is that they are harder to recover or demodulate at the receiver. Demodulation depends upon the carrier being present. If the carrier is not present, then it must be regenerated at the receiver and reinserted into the signal. To faithfully recover the intelligent signal, the reinserted carrier must have the same pace and frequency as those of the original carrier. Signal power considerations. In conventional AM, the transmitted power is distributed among the carrier and two sidebands. For example, given a carrier for power of 400 watts with 100% modulation, each sideband will contain 100 watts of power and the total power transmitted will be 600 watts. The effective transmission power is the combined power in the sidebands or 200 watts. A vestigial sideband signal is produced by partially suppressing the lower sideband. This kind of signal is used in TV transmissions. Classification of radio emissions. A code is used to designate the types of signals that can be transmitted by radio and wire. The code is made up of a capital letter and a number. Lowercase subscript letter are used for more specific definitions. Examples of codes are DSB, two sidebands, full carrier equals A3. DSB, two sidebands, suppressed carrier equals A3 sub B. OOK and ASK equals A1. The International Telecommunications Union, a standard organization, uses a code to describe signals. In this figure, the codes used to designate the many types of signal is that can be transmitted by radio and wire. The basic code is made up of a capital letter and a number, and lowercase subscript letters are used. For more specific definition, for example, a basic AM voice signal such as that heard on the AM broadcast band or on a CB or aircraft radio has the code A3. All the variations of AM using voice or video intelligence have the three designation, but subscript letters are used to distinguish them. That's all. Thank you.